Are you wanting to quicken up your barrel horse's feet? Or are you wanting to tune her back up again after a long winter off? Well, stick around because I have a few tips and tricks and exercises that'll get you guys ready for your next barrel season. Alright, I'll start off by giving you a little bit of background here. This has to be Flickin' Fast. She is my personal barrel horse. She has been on break since October of 2020. The day that I videoed this was Saturday, February 20th, and she just had a new set of shoes put on Friday, February 19th. So she'd been barefoot since October. So our first ride back, we're going to go back to the round pen. Now, one of the reasons for using the round pen is to help with these techniques, but also because this was the only place where I had decent ground to work her. Normally, I wouldn't even have this available to me this time of year because of snow, but we haven't had any precipitation or moisture, so I was able to use it. So what I'm going to start out by doing is on a long, loose rein, I'm working these rollaways. And if you remember from last week's exercise with the 2-year-old gelding, this is the same exact exercise, only this time I'm on a really long rein. I'm over-exaggerating the roll, going up her neck, giving her plenty of time for the cue. You got to remember, she's really out of shape. She's been standing around eating Cheetos and Doritos, and I'm out of shape myself. My timing is off, which we're going to see as we go through this video a little bit more, that as I start to ride a higher caliber horse, my timing is behind, and so I'm going to have to work on tuning myself up just as much as the horse, okay? So this is for both the horse and myself. So we're just over-exaggerating, rolling her back and forth, and we're changing directions. We're working both sides of her body. We're doing this all at a trot. That way we can work her equally on both sides. If we were to work this at a lope, we'd be working different body parts, but at a trot, it's the easiest to get the timing with her. And she's wanting to come out of these rolls a little bit slower each time. You know, she's losing her wind, and she's getting a little bit tired on me, and that's okay. This is how we evaluate her level of endurance and her stamina and how good of shape that she's in, okay? By changing directions back and forth rapidly like this, we're going to keep her mind quieter. We're going to get her more focused on her work. We're going to keep her from anticipating what we're going to do next. You know, we don't have to go to the barrel pattern in order to get our horses back in shape. We can get it done by doing little exercises like this and working at a trot. All right, we're going to do a few more of these, and then we're going to play game over, and that's where we allow her to walk out quietly with her head long and low on a long, loose rein. We've worked on muscle memory, timing, building up her stamina and endurance, getting her mind right, getting her focused on her job, and she's warmed up and ready to work on the next thing, and she's quiet. Look at how quiet she wants to be. It doesn't matter what event you ride, you can do these exercises with your horse and get their mind right, which is some really basic maneuvers. Okay, the next game that we're going to play is still the rollaway game, but now we're going to take collection, and we're going to take a hold of the rein, and we're going to have contact with her mouth at all times. We're going to use the halt command to ask her for the roll. This is where I go forward and back with my reins and set her up for the roll. And right now, she's not having a whole lot of ambition coming out of each turn. You can't really blame her. She's been sitting around, you know, drinking pop and eating Cheetos for the last 4 months or so. And so you can't expect them to really fire off out of these turns. But what we're looking for is technique. And the technique is pretty sloppy. What's happening is what we call the around the outhouse turn in the Monty Foreman basic handle. She's swinging her hind end out. She's not really planting that inside foot. Let's take a look at it again here in slow motion. So I give her the cue, and we don't plant the inside foot here. And you can see it now in slow motion. She's not sticking the inside foot. Instead, she's pushing off with this outside hind. And she swings that hip around. She's kind of just doing a turn on the forehand here. And what happens is we can see that I'm coming across her neck like a neck rein rather than coming back with that outside rein, that left rein, to collect her and help hold her back on that inside hind. Okay, and you can see her swing the hind end around. She just makes a circle there. There is no pivot and roll, okay? So totally cheated. My timing is off. My cue is off. And you can't expect the horse to do it correctly when I don't ask for it correctly. In this next roll, I'm going to hold tighter with this right rein, which is the inside rein right now, to help collect her and help her rock her back on her haunches and change back the other direction for her roll away, okay? Give her the cue, roll, and take off. A little bit better that time. Let's slow it down, take a closer look at it. I'm trying to show you here that I'm going to pull straight back with this right rein as I make that roll. And I give her the cue. And what I want you to see here is that she gets mad. That head goes up. And right there, folks, that is why you need a martingale on a horse when you're practicing and tuning up for speed and performance events. On a good note, though, my hands were in the right spot. I wasn't trying to come across her neck to neck rein her over. I was coming backwards with that rein. Now, let's take a look at what that hind end's doing. We didn't get a bunch of shimmying around with the hind end. We didn't make a circle. She planted those back legs. She kept them underneath her, and she rolled over her hocks to take off again. Okay, so now we're going to go back the other direction. Now remember, this was her weaker side. This was the side that she really wanted to cheat me on and she wanted to anticipate on. Now this is where we identify where our barrel horses, or any performance for that matter, are cheating us a little bit. Their timing is a little bit off. We can fix all those things right here in the round pen, and we don't even need a barrel in front of us. So I'm going to take this left rein and hold her when she tries to swing that hip and do that roll on the forehand. Let's take a look at it again in slow motion, okay? All right, we're going to look at it again here in slow motion. This is why I'm working my reins independently of each other using the halt cue. That way I'm not just going straight up her neck. One rein at a time. I'm going to hold with that left rein and back her off and take my left leg back towards that flank. Timing is everything with this exercise. You have to be able to feel that your horse is not planting that hip in the direction of the turn. She backs off my rein, and the coolest thing about this right here is that I give that rein forward. You guys can see me give that rein forward to her, and she continues to take a step backwards, and she's broke at the pole, she's soft in her jaw, and then we take off again to work again. All right, as we move out of this back up, she wants to spook at something on the outside of the round pen, and I ignore it. I immediately put her in another roll, put her back to work again, and this is super correct. I don't know if I'd change anything about that roll. Technically, it's so much better than what she's been doing. And as she moves around the round pen here, I want to draw your attention to how much better she's carrying herself. She's on the vertical. She's wanting to elevate her back. She's wanting to use her obliques. She's wanting to bring her hocks underneath her a lot more. I set her up for another roll here, and she's coming out of it a lot more technically correct now. Just that one correction, okay? And being consistent in my timing is all that it took. That one little correction, her head still goes up in the air just a little bit, But that's just going to take some time to bring her back and get back in timing again with her. This is our first ride back. Now, look at how correct and straight she wanted to be there. I finished on a nice roll. I'm going to give her a long, loose rein here. Look at her lick and chew and get quiet and walk out and catch her breath. Super, super happy mare. Really, really quiet, plain. Game over. This is how you make any horse a good partner and a reliable, reasonable individual. You keep their mind right. You keep on having these good experiences with them. I really hope this helped you no matter what performance event you work, or whether you're just a trail rider or a weekend warrior. I hope this helped you with your horse. Please comment down below if there's anything you'd like me to show you in the future. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and leave a comment. I sure appreciate you watching, and thanks again. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week.